everybody. This is Magnum Pi of Initiative Zero, and I'm here again tonight with Sid and Defiler and Ashley, and we're going to play some more Rifts. This is episode 3 of our side adventure here. Again, we just kind of opened things up on the channel to play with some people in the wider tabletop RPG community, and we got talking on a Discord. It's actually Shannon Michaels' Discord, which we'll put down in the link there, give him a little business too, because it's kind of where we all hooked up and talked about Rifts and said, would it be great if, I think it was Ashley that said, I want to learn how to play Rifts, and I said, well, okay, fine, we'll do it. And so here we are doing it. And we're kind of set in the New West. If you've been listening to our episodes, the group has just entered into the small boom town of Wall, what used to be South Dakota, after a run-in with the Coalition. And we had just kind of roaming in the streets with the young dragon Adine hovering over top, invisible, kind of circling over top of the town, invisible. And that's where we're going to pick up. So I think because we ended with Jad and Dietrich in the town, we're going to jump up to Adine in the sky. How's it going there, Ashley?
Doing well, thank you.
Cool. So Adine's circling above. What's she want to do?
So she's just kind of getting the lay of the land, figuring out, like, where things are and how the city kind of looks from above. And she's also keeping an eye on her companions and where they are, so that if anything happens, she could just fall from the sky.
Oh, yes.
Include our horses.
That's right.
Yeah, terrify the horses, everything.
The streets are busy. You notice that, right? They're full because the wagon train that you guys came into town on is there. And so streets are kind of busy. And you see that there is a rather large man who walks up behind your friends and kind of puts his hand on their shoulder and talks to them a bit and kind of motions over to a rather large building that has a big banner across the front of it with a large cinder block on it, is what was painted on the banner.
All right. So yeah, she can speak the common language, she can't read it.
Okay. So. Well, doesn't matter. Not many people can. That's why they use symbols. But yeah.
All right. So yeah, she's just gonna kind of keep watching. Try to be close enough where she could, like, hear what they have to say or what they're saying to each other, but not, like, close enough where, like, she disturbs the wind and people can tell that something weird is happening.
Okay, well, dragons have pretty good senses, so why don't you give me a perception check, and that's going to be a d20 roll, and on your character sheet there should be somewhere a perception bonus. Probably under combat.
Perception plus 0.
Oh, better than a penalty.
I guess not.
Well, yeah.
That was mine.
It's pretty common to have a plus 0 perception. Yeah. 10.
Got a 10.
Yeah, so there's a lot of noise down there. You can't really make out what the man was saying to the two of them, but it didn't seem, particularly, they don't seem particularly put out by whatever it was that he was saying. What you do notice is that there is a hush that kind of travels through the crowd whenever a particular guy on horseback who's heading in the opposite direction of the incoming crowd passes by, right? People kind of are looking down and stop talking for a moment until he passes by, and then they start talking again. So it's a notable difference.
Does he look different than everybody else?
He's a tall guy on a tall horse wearing a duster with a cowboy hat, so he doesn't look all that out of place here. People in the town, of course, are dressed very kind of 19th century. Matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do is do this, and there we go. Now we're in the town. It's empty streets in this picture, but imagine them full of people, because that's where you are. You're in the town. So it's very like 19th century American West is kind of what things are modeled after in the New West here. So definitely that Western feel. All right.
Well, I couldn't hear them, but I'm just gonna continue to follow them in the air.
Okay, well they're like looking at going into a building. So if you're going to follow them, you would have to.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, so you'd have to kind of morph into something. Now you do notice that there are clotheslines near the buildings. You could probably become human and snag yourself some clothes. They probably wouldn't be perfectly fit to you, but they would certainly help you blend in as a real human, because you've noticed that these humans and other DBs don't just trounce around naked like dragons do. So,
hey, if you choose the clothing before you morph, it will fit you perfectly.
or you can always adjust your morph to fit the clothes. Yeah.
That's true. I can.
Before we do enter that
right,
building,
well-
I'm gonna question it. So, feel free to not be interrupted by me, though.
No, go ahead.
Oh, it's just that I didn't catch this fellow's name, but the guy who has sort of gently told us about the rules of the road. I'm going to question walking in the front door of this saloon with full armor. Like, isn't there like a side entrance we should be talking about here?
Well, you actually say this to the guy who's walking in with you?
Yeah, isn't it, you just told us to not show off our armor, and we're about to walk in the front door with it, right?
Nah, you're new. He says, you're coming in to check your armor. That's pretty typical.
Okay. Well, then never mind.
So Adrian's gonna send his magpie up into the sky to fly approximately where I imagine Adine might be, and just keep a general look on things. And I think we've probably been having this kind of long conversation during our travel, but just to like recap it as we're walking towards the brick. Say, Dad, those men that we fought, those soldiers, they weren't evil. They were just really scared, which is why they came and attacked us and killed that person. And the people that in this place that we're about to go into, they're not evil either. But they're maybe a bit greedy. And the two people I pointed out, the Psi-Stalkers that are staring at us, they're not evil either. They're just hungry. And we have to work out how to deal with each of these people based on what their desires and feelings are. And for this particular case, in this saloon, you should probably let me do most of the talking. But for the next one, maybe it will be your turn.
Well, I'm glad you're here, buddy. Go for it.
And we're looking for a place to tie up our horses.
Yeah, you'll walk the horses over, and like most places, they have the tie-offs in front there, right, where you'll be able to tie them off. Of course, you're navigating through a very crowded street and the like, and so it's a little bit slow going. The man who was behind you kind of is leading the way now, kind of making a way between people, putting his hand up to stop people from moving and stuff like that as you guys try to cross the street. We'll jump back up to Adine. What have you decided?
As I see that they are heading towards the building, I decide that I want to follow them into the building. Can't do that at my current size, so in the sky, she's gonna go morph to cat size, and then head over to those clotheslines and see what clothes are there that she might like.
Okay, yeah, you find something that you like, sure.
Yeah, so she finds something, and so she tries to discreetly take those clothes, even though she's invisible and the clothes are not.
Yeah. Yeah.
and take them behind, yeah, one of the buildings or an alley that wasn't very populated or had no people at all. And she will take on her human form there.
Cool.
Be visible. So she'll take on the human form, then become visible.
Okay.
Wow.
And she will be that one.
All right. All right. So
And then she will try to run towards the building, and hopefully no one stops her.
all right. So there are no. So you are barefoot in these. In this, there is no shoes or anything, right? So you're barefoot, wearing this. This, the dress is to 19th century style, so it's, longish dress sort of stuff. But you don't really know, even though you can adjust your size to fit. You don't know necessarily how it's supposed to be worn, so it doesn't quite come across as that you're all done up. But you're clothed and it does fit, so it's not draping off of you or super tight. But again, the bustle might not be set properly and things like that. You might have, the lacing might be undone because you don't know how to do it. You've ever tied anything before. And these, of course, opposable thumbs. What's that? But actually, I think dragons in Palladium have opposable thumbs. But anyway, my question to you, though, you chose the rather attractive lady picture. What physical beauty did you choose to give yourself when you turned into a human? On a scale from 3 to 30. On a scale from 3 to 30. Yeah, you don't have to change anything on your character sheet. Just tell me.
I don't know. On a scale of 3 to 30, she's picture is pretty up there, I think.
Yeah, to get above a 16 is not typical for humans. 30 is maximum possible. It's like angelic. So
like an angel. Okay.
Yeah, you would really stick out if you were that.
Jad has a 17. That's why he's so pretty.
And witty.
Or probably 20 then, I guess.
Okay.
20.
So you made yourself look.
Go whatever you want.
Oh, I have a little heart above me now.
Yeah. And I'm going to follow it with some numbers just to keep track of things here. There.
So does does my bird see her running?
Yeah, well, she would see all of a sudden the bird circling around, probably since you've been looking for something particular, probably notices that all of a sudden there's a girl that appears in this dress that was floating there, and who runs out into the streets looking around. Not surprisingly, in this town, you're not the only barefoot girl running through the street. However, the other ones are of probably more ill repute than you. You do make it there. You can just see the doors of the brick closing behind Dietrich as they walk behind Jad, because Dietrich was leading the way, as they walk into the brick. Do you follow, or what do you want to do?
I say wait.
He says out of character.
Oh, I was going to say in character.
You didn't necessarily know she was there, but. All right, sorry. Are you? Well, yeah.
Didn't see her.
Yeah, but how are you talking to her? That's what I don't.
Oh, I'm talking to Jad.
Oh! I see.
You're telling Jad to wait, just to be clear.
Yeah, I'm telling Jad. Wait, she's here.
I say okay in Dragonese.
Cool. And Adine, what do you do? Oh, she's muted still.
This is happening quite.
I just don't think I would have necessarily equated what you just said with telling her to stop, or else I would, But
No, I was telling you to stop. We were walking in the door, and I was saying, just wait, she's here.
Yeah. Ashley, you still there? You're muted.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So yeah, she just walks into the building to find her friends.
Okay, so you followed them there. So they said they waited at the doorway. So
Yeah,
cool.
I was planning to have a long dramatic pause in the entryway anyway.
Oh,
So,
fancy.
Okay.
quick time.
All right, so you guys, she shows up. There you are, all standing together, and your bird flies back and lands on your shoulder there, Dietrich. And yeah, you guys move into the brick.
Yep.
All right, so it's got double doors. There's glass in them, right? They kind of like French doors, sort of thing. And they swing wide as you walk into the brick. When you walk in, you know that the wood frame building has a theater with lots of seating, a bar, gambling tables, and there's small rooms in the rear where the establishment's hostesses entertain customers. It's pretty apparent to you guys that this place offers the wide open region of the New West a variety of entertainment, which would include things like prize fights. They've got an area that can be roped off, booze, singers, dancers, comedians, and of course prostitutes. What boomtown in the West would not be without its prostitutes? So the saloon proprietor stands behind the bar. He's a shorter guy, likely the Mr. Swanson that's referred to by the man who's brought you in this way. He's behind the bar, examining a piece of what looks to be, it's like a chunk of concrete that has bits of rebar sticking out of it. And there's a bearded, middle-aged, partial conversion cyborg with a kind of a floppy hat leaning on the bar as well. And he's looking at the proprietor examining this concrete quite eagerly. Appears to be looking for some sort of assessment from him. And now, for those of you who don't know, a partial conversion cyborg. Well, let's start with a full conversion cyborg. A full conversion cyborg is like RoboCop, mostly Terminator is more like a robot. Like he was never a human that just had parts added to him. He was a robot covered with skin, whereas RoboCop was like, he was a human, had most of his body removed, and then a robot body built for him. That's a full conversion Borg. A partial conversion Borg usually has their human trunk with robotic limbs, like arms and legs, which are usually reinforced so they can lift more and but they don't have a full machine body. So they'll have different implants and things like that. So that's what this prospector is. He's a partial conversion Borg, so mostly flesh and blood, but his limbs are all robotic and the like. And
Adrian turns to Adine as we walk in the door and says, "There is a lot of danger in this place, but we will be safe together."
Okay. She just kind of whispers okay and stays really close to the two guys.
Yes, because you need the protection. Right.
Well, he seems like he knows what he's talking about, and I should be afraid. It's what she's getting.
Okay. So there's certainly when you walk in, Adine, heads turn. Those two aren't the only two in here. There's other people sitting at the tables having a drink, or eating a meal or the like, or just playing a hand of cards. The guy behind the bar, he looks up to the partial conversion Borg and says, "And what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?" He holds up the rock that he's holding. It seems to have those rusted irons embedded in it. He turns back to the prospector and says, "Listen, shit for brains, I'm not affording you credit on account of a piece of concrete." The Borg replies to him, "Nah, Ed, look on the other side. Look at the paint." Paint. And he looks, and his lips mouth a word as though he's reading. Mouthing something. It says, what the fuck is a nema?" "Not a nema, Ed. Nema, as in the fucking Nemans. Fuck you, Nemans. The Nemans are a fucking myth. Ethier, you know that as well as I do. No, sir, I do not. Honest to God, Neman stronghold right under my claim. That alone is proof enough for me. I can only imagine what sort of pre-rifts artifacts are buried in there. Ethier, you're so fucking stupid. It could have been an enema advertisement for all you know. No fucking credit for a piece of cement. The short, mustached man behind the bar sets the piece of concrete down and then looks over to you. He picks up the concrete and shows it to you guys and says, "Does this look fucking shiny to you?"
Doesn't look too shiny, sir.
No, that's right, it's not shiny. Mine is, well, come on in.
So we'll
Don't
walk
be
up
shy.
slowly to the bar. Yeah. And put my hands on the bar in front of him.
All right. Says you're all decked out.
Yes, we just arrived from Tolkien.
Tolkien, huh?
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough trip.
Oh, well, he offers his hand to you. I'm Ed Swanson, proprietor of this place.
Hi, I'm Adrion Dietrich, and this is my companion, Jad Fleer, and Adine.
Hello, my lady, he says, kind of wiggles his eyebrows a little at you.
Hello.
Oh, an accent. Is now the Borg, who's kind of standing beside you, getting shuffled over a little bit as you guys kind of take up space at the bar. He says, now, Ed, it just so happens that I found that piece of history under my fucking gold claim. He says, now, lucky for your patrons here, if you weigh that out, he puts a poke of gold on the bar, we can get to some drinking. Now that, says Ed, I can afford some credit on. And he pulls up a set of scales, sets things up, and says 8 1/2 ounces. Well, that's not a bad cleanup now, is it, Swanson? Hell no, it's not. But I'd love you guys to give me a perception roll if you can. That D20.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
You guys, like, took your thumbs and put them right in your eyes. It's like, oh, look, a bar. You know, like, yeah. Yes, you guys are too busy being, distracted by the glint of the mirrored back with all the bottles and, the
I'm just trying
fine
to read all the bottle
hardwood.
labels.
That's
I'm
right.
fascinated by all the bottles, clearly.
Yeah, look at all the liquor. Yeah.
Ina's staring at her feet and marveling at human feet.
I have toes, she says to herself.
And all this lascivious decadence.
Ooh, such articulate language. All right. Now what's that amount to in credits? Asked the prospector. I know, but I just want to hear you say it. So Swanson removes the weights from the scales and he shows the miner a series of computations up on a chalkboard behind the bar. Well, 8 ounces of gold, 1,000 credits an ounce, that's 8,000, plus 500 credits for a half ounce makes 8,500 total. The man that you had come in with, the larger man, had gone on into the back, and he re-emerges from there. And he kind of nods at you guys as you're standing in there and kind of comes and stands beside you. Well, inform your dealers and whores of my credit and pour me a goddamn drink, says the Borg. As he pours the whiskey, Swanson looks at the man that brought you in and says, 8,500 credit, Dave, for Ethier here. Oh, yes, sir. 8,500 for Ethier. I'll let everybody know. These fellas here are looking to park their wares, Ed. I told them 20 a day in trade. Was that true there? Need to not look like you're trying to take over the town.
We're looking for a room and stables for our horses.
Oh, well, we can take care of that. We can also find a safe place to lock up your fine equipment. Don't want to be seen as looking like you're on the defensive.
Assume that'd be included.
Sorry, say that again?
I assume that would be included.
Well, rooms will be at a discount if you're storing your things with me.
Well, we certainly need some privacy, especially for the lady.
Of course, of course, of course. The Borg beside you reaches into a satchel and withdraws a robotic forearm and hand. He sets it down on the bar with a thud, and he proceeds to then detach his right forearm, which consists of a large drill and mining laser. It kind of twists and pops it off and swaps it out for the prosthetic on the bar. He then places the drill in his satchel and flexes the digits on his updated limb. He deftly picks up the shot as though he was handling the most delicate and precious object. And he looks over at you, Adine, and he says, "First one today with this hand." And he downs the shot and lets the liquor burn, slaps it down on the bar. "Pour me another, my good man." "Well, an honor and a pleasure, my good man." Swanson pours the drink. And he holds it up, holds that second shot up and says, 8½ ounces. And he coughs, issuing a sort of harmonic sound of a bionic toxin filter that's probably several years overdue for a change. I tell you what, he looks at Adeen and then over at the other two of you guys as you're trying to settle on a room. Tell you what, I may have fucked up my life flatter than hammered shit, but I stand before you today beholden to no cocksucker, human or DB, and working a paying fucking claim. And not the Coalition, or the savage fucking Simvan Riders, or any of these other limber dick cocksuckers are going to pass themselves off as prospectors, and they'd better try to stop me. And he downs the shot. Well, they better not try it in here. God damn it, Swanson, I don't trust you as far as I could throw you, but I enjoy the way you lie. Well, thank you, my good man. You're welcome, you conniving, heavy-thumbed motherfucker. And all of a sudden, as this conversation's going on, a gunshot rings out from the rooms behind the bar.
Well,
Rooms.
Yes.
behind the bar.
Not directly behind the bar. Sorry, to the.
So in the back of the.
In the back of the establishment, I guess is what I should have said. But in the back of the saloon, I guess is a better way of saying it. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like in the direction of where like the prostitute rooms are?
That's right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I look at the guy. You got trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Need any help?
Right, and says, yeah, right. You can see the patrons kind of ducking their hats down and heading out low. He looks over at the man he called Dave, the one that walked you in, and says, I warned you about her. And Dave hurries in the direction of the sound. Swanson says, you want to help? Free week storage if you can go get Doc Coburn and bring him here and keep things quiet. Real quiet.
Sure.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah, we'll move in as we are towards the back.
Where can we find the doctor?
Probably at his house. He's looking around underneath the bar for something.
Now, I can
Where
actually
does he live?
heal people. So there's a temptation to go do that, but we
Well,
should follow
it's up
this
to you.
guy's orders, I guess. Yeah.
It's up. Well, you make your choice. He doesn't know what you're capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Are we passing
What do you think,
by
Dietrich?
the room from where the gunshot came from?
So you didn't come in past those rooms. Those rooms are on the opposite side from where you entered. But you can go to them if you want. Like you said, you are a healer. I think both. Also, Adine is a healer, right?
Yeah,
We're all
I
healers.
think Adine's not
Awesome.
really gonna say anything. She's just like gonna walk over towards the room where the gunshot came from,
Yeah,
full of
we'll
curiosity.
just go. Yeah, we'll just all go.
Okay, so you guys follow Adine, realizing she's wandering off toward the danger, which probably isn't much danger to her, but it definitely sounded like a gunshot, like not some sort of plasma cannon or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you guys get closer, you can hear, "I told him don't beat on me, I told him don't beat on me." Nobody asked for your version. You can hear Ed's voice. You come to the room where Ed and Dave are standing. There's a woman there, very thin waif-like woman, barely clothed. And also there, slumped up against the wall, is a man with a bullet hole through the side of his head. He's not dead yet, but there's a lot of blood, and he's kind of given some short, quick breaths, right? And she says, he said I robbed him. Then he started beating on me. Trixie, stop. Nobody's asking for your version. She turns to the guy who's up against the wall, bleeding, and says, "I didn't rob you." And he just mumbles, I don't remember now. Gray matter plastered on the wall behind him. "I didn't,
Okay.
goddammit."
Dad?
I have to do psychic diagnosis first, but I'm going to fire up psychic surgery and repair this guy if I can.
Okay, so did you see the time it takes to use those, or?
I do, yeah. So 2d4 rounds to use diagnosis.
Yeah.
Should I roll that?
Yeah, give her a roll. Let's find out how long it's going to take you. So five rounds. So that's a minute and minute 15. As you pay for that, you start to diagnose. Sure.
I'll go ahead and do a holistic medicine diagnosis.
Okay. "What now?" says Dave. "You guys doctors?"
Yeah.
We've seen our share of injuries. I think we can do something about this one.
So what do you think Adrian concludes about the problem with his holistic medicine? Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 9. That's good, right?
Yeah, I mean, you rolled below the skill. So in this game,
Yeah.
you roll percentile, try to get under the skill rating, right? And so you rolled under the skill, which means you made a diagnosis. What do you think that the problem is?
I think the problem is the bullet going through his brain and splattering it on the wall.
Yes.
And, probably try to get that out and stop the bleeding.
Yep, that might be it. Herbal medicine may not be the best solution. You probably reckon as well, but you can at least try
I'm
to.
a real pro here. So I'm definitely going to defer to him, so I can stop the bleeding.
Yeah. So
Rip
so
off a
yeah.
sheet.
I can fix most anything, but it's not super fast. So if you can keep him alive, that would be great.
Yeah.
So direct pressure.
Yeah.
Keep them together.
As you try to find something to put, like you grab the pillowcase or something like that and try to put pressure and stuff like that, he raises up his left hand to his left temple and he looks up at you, his eyes kind of rolling in his head. She shot me right through the head. And
It's quite a tale.
Yes, he's still alive.
Yeah. You sit down, Jad, to begin your meditation for the diagnosis. Adine, what do you want to do?
Well, bro doesn't seem like he's in too much pain. Though I would imagine that he would be, but maybe that part was shot out of his head. I don't know. Well, you've already got the stop bleeding taken care of. Do we know,
Dietrich
like,
points
how
at the
much...
girl.
Do we know how much damage this guy has taken?
Judging by the amount of gray matter on the wall beside him, a significant amount. You don't know much about human anatomy, but you probably figure that he needed all of that stuff in his head in order for it to work properly. It looks pretty and he's his pulse is starting to fade, and he looks up at Dietrich and says, "Is it bad, Doc?"
Yeah, but you got a shot.
Oh,
No pun intended.
I got shot all right. Jad, your diagnosis quickly comes back to you that the vast majority of his brain is not there, and that it's a wonder that the man is still even conscious and talking. But he is fading fast. You don't know how you could do much surgery to save him at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So even psychic surgery is not readily capable of repairing this level. I see.
Yeah, and as Dietrich puts pressure, you can hear the man taking a few short breaths, and then he breathes his last and slumps his head. Well, you boys, says Ed, can keep playing with him until Dave here finds the Cactus Man. Right, he turns to Daughtry. Dave Daughtry is his name, and orders him curtly, "Go get the plant."
Anyone talking to the girl?
She's just kind of whimpering and trying to stay quiet.
Okay, I guess I'll just hold her hand.
Okay, you hold her hand.
After cleaning the brains off of me.
Yeah. Ed looks at you, says, "I'll tell the three of you what. How about you go help Dave, and I'll take care of Trixie here."
All right.
I will close the dead guy's eyes on the way out. If they're not already.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, we'll go help Dave.
Guess we just go follow that guy then.
Yeah, and he says, he stops as he sees you're following him, and he says, "Look, there's a sled downstairs in the back. Why don't you load the stiff on that so that he's ready to go when I get back? That'll probably be the most help. 4 people navigating the streets to go talk to Whoosh looks kind of obvious."
Got it.
All right.
Yeah, we'll go wrap the body up in a sheet. Carry
Go
it.
downstairs and grab that
Yeah.
sled.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'll
Well,
go
soon.
down with the sled as well.
Okay, so you guys kind of bring the body down and the like. There are a few patrons here. You can see one of them has helped themselves to a bottle of whiskey and has been pouring it for his friends. So you see Swanson take the girl upstairs, and there's a door that slams upstairs. There's several rooms up there too, which are probably the finer kind of rooms you can rent here. And Dave returns through the back door here, as you guys kind of have the body on the sled, and behind him is an interesting looking creature. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, behind him is a short cactus green humanoid covered with a number of lumps and thorny protrusions. A quick glance would you'd mistake it for a cactus if it wasn't moving and if it didn't have a sort of ribbing that resembles a large smile, like a mouth with large teeth. As you see it, as you look at it more closely, you realize that that's not what it is. It's just kind of how the plant has grown. But what you're looking at is a local DB. DB stands for dimensional being, so something from another dimension. A cactus person is what they're referred to, and his name is Whoosh, as you gather by Dave referring to him as, all right, Whoosh, just this way. In addition to those previously mentioned features that he has large, there's like a large scarred concave depression on the right side of his head, like he got hit with something rather blunt. And you know how like plants, when they get hit, will kind of have that sort of brownish damage, right? A green plant will kind of have that kind of brownish sort of look to it, like a leaf that gets a hole in it or something, that sort of thing, right? This large scarred concave depression on the right side of his head. As he enters into the room with Dave, he presses together the suction cup tips on the ends of his fingertips and makes a low sort of rumbling sound that sounds like whoosha, 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 almost like a nervous muttering sort of sound. And Dave turns and says, now, Whoosh, Ed said that this cocksucker here is for your grinder. And he speaks to him loudly and slowly, like most people who don't know the language the person is speaking would. Because that always helps you get things across to a person who doesn't understand your language, if you speak really loudly and really slowly. And so that's what Dave is doing. Whoosh, I just told you, this cocksucker is for your grinder. And the small green creature nods and examines the corpse. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Whoosh. He points up to the upstairs area where you heard the door close before and mashes his fist in the other hand. Shun shun. Whoosha whoosha. Yeah, that's right, Whoosh. Whoosh grinds the cocksucker for Swanson. That's right. And he looks, the little cactus person looks up at the three of you. And then he motions for you to pick up the end of the sled and follow him.
Yep.
All right.
All right. And
Whoosh.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just we're all in on it. Let's do it.
Okay, so you guys follow him. And you follow him out into the muddy back alleys of the town of Wall. You come to a section of town where a number of other cactus people are busy moving about and working a cleared plot of land in the town. It's almost like they knocked down a few, like sort of some buildings burned down or something, but it's been cleared out and it's kind of right in the middle of town. And they're actually, it looks like they're trying to farm this little plot of land in the town. These little cactus people are moving about, and it looks like they're spreading a sort of compost and the like over top of where they've recently planted something. The field is laden with crops of lettuce, cabbage, tobacco, peas. All sorts of things are starting to grow here. Whoosh motions for you to bring the body over to a large metal hopper connected to a chute that empties out over the compost pile. Whoosha, whoosha, whoosha. And he motions for you to put the body in the hopper. Whoosha, whoosha.
Yep. Let's do it.
Yikes.
Are these children? Are these
the
children?
The little things in the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are Cactus People kids. Cactus kids. At least they know how to skip rope. There are children around, sorry. Mostly you see the women don't seem to have the same sort of ribbed smile. They seem to be just kind of covered in, they look more like tubers. There are children around, but they're not doing a lot of the work. So they're kind of doing what kids do, which is basically beat each other up and skip rope and, kind of follow their mothers around. There's men working in the field there too. The plot of land, I guess. Not much of a field, but yeah. You guys kind of heft the body up there. Whoosh points to Adine. Whoosha, whoosha. And then he points to a large handle, or like a crank, on the side of the hopper. And there's one on the other side that he goes and stands at, and he kind of leans forwards and nods at you a lot. Whoosha, whoosha, whoosha.
Okay. So she just walks over to the crank thingy and puts her
Okay.
hands on it, looks at the cactus guy.
And he nods and he starts pushing his, and you kind of pull yours up and you start turning the thing. You guys crank the handle attached to the contraption. The grinder goes to work. Blood, viscera, bone all come through the chute into the compost pile, and 2 other cactus people quickly turn the addition into the rest of the pile using a pitchfork and a shovel. Woosha, 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 woosha. Shon, shon, he says. And
Yes.
This must be how humans do it.
Yeah, and then he points to the sled and points back toward the direction you came, and then he goes to join his own people.
All right, we'll take it back. Or I'll take it back.
All right. So there you are, back at the brick. When you come in,
So, is that the only? Does that seem like the only little spot full of cactus people? That little farm plot, or
Yeah,
are they?
you
Have
saw.
we seen them elsewhere in town?
No, you don't really see them anywhere else in town. You kind of just see them going in and out of the buildings that open into this little kind of square, and it's kind of in the low part of town where all the crap would drain out and stuff like that, right? So when the rain comes, it'll wash into there. So yeah, they're not living in the best part of town.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. So there you are. You guys make your way back in through the back door of the brick. And, down comes...
Sled back.
Sorry?
Take the sled back.
Yeah, you put it back where it belongs, sure. And from the upstairs down comes Ed, adjusting his collar and stuff like that. And says, well, job well done. Looks like you've got yourselves some storage and some room to stay in.
And stable.
Well, thank you. Sorry it had to come with such a sad story.
Well, I told her no guns. But she wouldn't listen. And he kind of steps behind the bar and puts out 4 shot glasses, pops the top off of a bottle of whiskey and pours shots for each of you and himself. Cheers. And he downs one.
I think this is traditional at a funeral.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm into it.
All right.
How is she supposed to protect herself?
She calls me or she calls Dave.
So Adine's gonna take her shot. She's gonna take it slowly because she doesn't really. She didn't eat food or drinks. She doesn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
So she sips it and
Oh, it's
coughs.
yeah. It's smooth.
And she'll say, "What is this? What's this called?"
It's whiskey. You'll get used to it. Better than the water around here.
Whiskey. And she'll drink the rest of it, but cough again.
Yeah. Be sure you don't cough up a
Hopefully
fireball.
yeah, I was just gonna say, I hope a little burst of flame doesn't come out.
Yeah. All right.
No flame.
Well,
We'd like to get out of this armor
I'm sure.
and put the seat to our horses.
Yeah, you 2 boys will be up in that room up there. The lady can have the one next door.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Good.
Thank you.
When you're ready
Is
to...
there-
Sorry, go ahead.
hers is a private room. Like there's no other room connected to it.
No adjoining room, no. I'm not a monster. Now, what you've noticed, of course, is that most of the patrons, except for the few that took the bottle and were drinking have fled the place. And gunfire and whatnot, but nobody else showed up from outside. He says, once you've settled in there and you're ready to store your wares, we'll bring them down here and Dave will bring you out to the storage facility. Don't worry, they'll be safe. You can keep a blaster on you of some sort, but long arms, not wise. It'll look like you're hunting for somebody. So I just highly recommend you can keep your hat and keep your clothing, right? Just no armor, no high-end energy or explosive weapons. You can keep a standard revolver or automatic pistol, knife, things like that, but nothing that's going to topple the town with one pull of a trigger, if you follow my meaning.
We got it.
Although you can keep a laser or ion pistol on you, some of the folk that come through this way are rather tough. But believe me, if you draw that, you better be meaning to use it on the right target, because they can do a lot of damage in a town like this, and, well, you'll get put down pretty fast if you're just, firing off a hand cannon destroying the town.
Yeah, I just like point at my submachine gun. Is okay?
Yeah.
What will happen to the girl?
I've already taken care of her. Don't worry about her. She'll be fine. I'd like to say it was her first time doing that, but no.
Yikes.
That's why we told her no guns.
All right. Well, I think we should get settled in, and then we have a couple of errands to run.
All right. Well, you let us know when you're ready to store your stuff.
So, yeah, let's go see our room.
Yep. You guys head up. He gives you the keys. You head up. And standard, there's a small dresser that you can put clothes in. There's 2 beds in both rooms. It's the same setup. The guys are sharing a room, the girls not. And that's about it. Nothing fancy, mirror, latrine, that sort of thing. There's no plumbing. So.
That's it.
Are we alone? Or are they still following us?
Oh, no, they just gave you the keys that set you up to your room.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Dietrich, I'm confused. Yeah. She shouldn't have killed that guy, but he shouldn't have been hitting her.
Yeah.
And they weren't doing anything illegal here. It's pretty confusing.
Well, just because it wasn't illegal doesn't mean it wasn't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She was scared, and it was the only thing she believed she could defend herself with, and she maybe was right.
Maybe so.
Next,
Things feel
we're-
kind of funny. Everything's kind of moving weird.
it'll pass as long as you don't keep drinking that.
The lightweight dragon.
That sounds weird. How long has it been since she's been in human form?
Probably about 20 minutes. You probably got another
Okay.
40 minutes before you have to really start worrying about crushing the building.
Okay,
Okay.
we have.
So yeah,
We're
about
gonna-
that, does she just start turning back after an hour if she doesn't do it beforehand?
Yeah, she'll start. I would say that it's not like, it's not Cinderella, right? The pumpkin or the carriage just turns back into a pumpkin, but you'll start to feel it, right? You'll lose control, right? Because it's taking some effort to maintain this form. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
So, do I know about this constraint?
I don't know. Has there ever been a need for her to to rush away quickly and turn back into a dragon, or maybe not. I
feel
don't know.
I feel like during the wagon train out west, I feel like she was in a dragon form because the whole train knew she was a dragon, so
Yeah,
there was no reason for her to
yeah.
really.
I'd also
into the
say,
person.
I'd also say that you probably don't have it down to an exact science, right? You don't know that you have 60 minutes of time, right? It's more that this is just the extent that you can hold this, right? Like, it's just you haven't built up your endurance yet. You don't have that fine of control over it. So it's not like, all right, set the stopwatch. It's more
Right.
like, it's roughly 60 minutes.
Well, I mean, I'd
Okay.
certainly be curious.
Well, you don't even know if it's limited.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You could. Do you have demon and monster lore?
I do.
That could probably tell you.
52.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you would know that dragons, the vast majority of dragons anyway, can't hold another shape indefinitely. So there is a limit, and of course, the younger a dragon, the less length of time they have that they can hold another form.
All right. I think we'll probably need to get you outside sooner or later. These rooms seem fine, and we also need to go and talk to someone outside. But if we have time, I would like to do something in private in our room.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to actually look. So I actually want to call my patron. So let me just see if how long it takes. So I'm interested in opening a micro rift to Thoth.
Oh, to get some advice, or
Well, to get some advice, but also just tell him, just basically tell him what's going down in this part of the world.
okay.
Micro rift to who?
To the Egyptian god of knowledge, magic, and chaos.
Oh, him. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to cost you 200 PPE to do that. You are,
Yeah, almost all of it.
yeah, and then you'll have a 20% success ratio.
And I think it's it's 20% I get him, and then 20% I get a peon.
Well, if you do it as a ritual, it'll take anywhere between 25 and 75 minutes, and it'll add up
Okay.
a 20% bonus.
Yeah.
But the time to open a rift without the ritual is 1d4 rounds. So,
I would want to do it as a ritual. The question is, do we have time for that?
well,
Seems like a reasonable amount of time to spend relaxing in your room after
Okay.
you just got off the road.
Yeah.
I think it's
So
okay.
I'm gonna do.
and cleaned up a
yeah,
body,
I'm
and
gonna go straight into the meditation and do the ritual. We have privacy.
all right, cool.
I will meditate as well to recover what I spent on the diagnosis.
Oh.
Yeah,
And I'll tell Adine, I'm going to meditate for 35 minutes, and then we'll be ready to go. If you need to leave sooner, if you can wait for us, that would be best. But you need to leave sooner. What do you need?
Since she doesn't know her own time limit, I think she'll say that that's fine. But what she really wants to do is go look at the human clothing stores.
okay, cool. So you're just gonna go roam around the town.
Yeah.
That'll never end badly.
No, she's just gonna walk around and see what there is to see.
What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. All right, cool. So let's take care of what we need to do for this. This will tell us how long the ritual takes. So give me a d6. Oh, wow. So only 25 minutes. And you'll get that additional 20% bonus. So you'll spend that time there. You've taken off the 200?
I will.
Yeah, cool. And then after that time, give me a percentile check. You've got a 40% chance of success. There you go.
Oh man, what a series of percentile rolls you've had.
I know. Like that's why in this game rolling low sometimes is good. So cool. So you will get in touch with Thoth. Okay.
I've arrived here in this town in the Western Americas, and there's massive stresses. I think there's going to be a large loss of life. The human nations, the coalition, have been moving against the other peoples, the nation of Tolkien, and I think there's going to be a war, and it might come down right here.
I understand your concern, but the war will not come this far. From that, you will be safe. However, you are exactly where I need you, my servant, for a test of your worth. In this place, there is another evil, and that evil guards an even greater evil that could destroy not just this town, not just this area, but could cause a terrible shift in the balance of power. You need to prevent that from happening.
How can we stop it?
Find the ancient ruin, and you'll know what to do.
All right.
Well, good thing we just heard about one.
Yeah, so Adrian gets up and stretches a bit. Says, "Jad, now I think it's your turn to lead the conversation. We have there's a couple of Psi-Stalkers outside in the market selling meat, and we should go talk to them. I think they'll really like you."
Okay.
Me probably want to eat me.
They'll want Jad too. He's a master psychic.
Yeah, but they'll want me more, and they'll definitely want Adine. So we need to get there before they get to her. So let's.
Right. Do we want anything from them, or do we just want them to leave us alone?
Actually, I think I could actually go for some jerky.
Mm-hmm. I don't really have anything to trade in this town.
Oh, I have something to trade. Don't worry about that.
Oh, good.
Just, get to know them. They're very hungry. Know that they're not evil. They're just very hungry. But maybe you can learn something useful about this area from them. They probably have a very unique perspective.
Okay.
All right. We're going to rewind to Adine, who about a half an hour earlier went for a walk.
Yeah.
All right. And you are roaming down the streets. The crowd is not nearly as dense as it was. People have found their places that they were going and the like, especially since they heard a gunshot come out of the saloon. But you're roaming along. Tell me about your roaming.
Well, she's just looking at all the shops as she passes by, completely oblivious to anybody who may be looking at her. She's just just walking and very excited to see all the new things, to smell all the smells, even if they don't smell good. They're just new and exciting, and she's taken in by her excitement. And so you kind of see that in her walk and her smile, and while she's looking at everything.
Cool. I'm just taking a quick look at your abilities here. You don't have sixth sense or anything like that. All right. So,
I can sense ley lines, nexus points, and other dragons.
Yeah, none of which are nearby. But what you do sense with your eyes as you're standing in front of a window, looking in at the wares in the window there, and you see your own reflection in the window, and you kind of check out your own form that you made for yourself, and think you did a pretty good job. You're like, this human metamorphosis, not so bad. You're pretty good at this, right? Like, what you also notice is that behind you, coming from across the street, are these two fine gentlemen, which are, they are essentially albinos, with no hair. And you can see they have tattooed black bands across their eyes. They are almost beelining for you. One of them seems to be smelling at the air.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, well, she sees them. It's like, okay, whatever. Turns back to the window.
Yeah.
Is there anything inside that shop that looks interesting?
Oh, yeah. You see that there's clothing in there which you think looks better than the clothing that you have on right now. That you think...
Well, she's going to go inside and look at it closer.
All right. You head inside, and there's the clothes in there, and the shopkeeper, "Oh, ma'am, welcome to my humble store. Are you interested in something?"
Yes, I am. I'm interested in the clothes I saw in the window.
Oh, a good choice. You're not from here, I can tell by your accent.
No, I just came in a couple days ago. Or was it a couple days ago?
Or was this
today?
Earlier today? Yeah.
Oh, earlier today. Yeah. So then, no. I just came in earlier today.
Oh, well, we're very happy to have you.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. And you hear the jingle of the door open as these two guys walk in as well. "Hello, gentlemen." Right? They just kind of nod at him.
And I'm not getting any senses or vibes or anything off these guys.
Well, nothing more than you would as a regular old person.
Okay.
You kind of saw them beelining toward you, and then now they've followed you into the store. And now
They do look super creepy.
Yeah, I mean...
They do look what?
Super creepy.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
assuming all humans don't look super creepy to her.
Well, this is true.
Yeah. These are clearly predators.
Yeah, they're behaving in a very predatory fashion for sure. That said, you're also a predator, so not quite the herbivacious dragon, So,
well, the dragon doesn't eat.
And yet
It only takes some magic.
does so for pleasure. The worst kind of predator.
That's fair.
Yeah, but the proprietor says, "Excuse me just a moment." And he walks over to the two of them, and they kind of turn their backs to you and start talking to the proprietor, who kind of glances back at you and then talks with them.
So, am I close enough to hear what they're saying?
Yeah, you can give me a perception check and see if you can make out what they're saying. It's not like listening from, way above the town. So, give me that D20.
And it's just 1d20, right? Okay.
Yeah. Again, a 10. You can hear them, right? Something about something girl, not quite, danger. We can help, right? Things like that is what you kind of make out.
Okay. All right, so while they're talking, Dean's going to pretend like she dropped something and bend down so that she's out of sight and go invisible so she can try to leave without anyone noticing.
Okay. Cool. And do you have prowl? It's a skill.
I do not.
Yeah, it's on your list of skills. You have to change your tab.
Let me see. Skills. Doesn't look like it. No. No.
Okay, cool. So you're just relying on not being visible. Cool. And you go to make your way out. How are you going to make your way out?
Because the door's got a little bell on it, right?
You know it, yeah.
Or is there like a back door or anything that doesn't have a bell?
You could try making your way to the back. Yeah, there's probably a back door. You don't know if it has a bell or not, but yeah. You make your way back there. Give me a percentile check. Just try to get underneath your PP. It's one of your attributes. It's your physical prowess.
So it's a
D100.
100, right?
Yeah.
And
Nope. All right.
definitely
So
not.
yeah, it's not that you're a bull in a china shop, but you certainly aren't able to make your way in a poofy dress amongst poofy dresses without knocking particular things around here. And these guys, they're going to also give us a roll here just for their abilities. And what do we got? There we go. Yep. One of them slaps the shoulder of the other one and nods in the direction of you making your way through the clothing to the back door. And they just kind of say to the proprietor, thanks. And they kind of start heading after you. You look over your shoulder, you can see they're coming at you.
So I can teleport, so I think I'd like to do that now.
Cool. All right, what's it say on teleport for you there?
It just says teleport base 22 per level 2 total 22. I don't know.
Let me find it. That's okay. Let's find out what that means here real quick. So you are a dragon, you have teleport, and of course, that means... Hello, teleport. There we go. You can teleport up to 5 miles away. The percent,
damn!
the percentile is the success chance, though. So right now it's 22%.
Oops. What does a failure mean?
Oh, so 22% that it will happen, or that I will.
Failed roll means the teleport.
I didn't intend to.
Yeah, failed roll means teleport doesn't happen.
Okay, well, gotta try it anyway.
All right.
So,
oh, this is interesting.
Location that she
If
wants
you
to teleport her.
If you happen to find a ley line nexus, you can do a dimensional teleport at half that percentage. Cool.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I thought I can sense those up to 20 miles away. I thought you said I couldn't sense any.
Yeah, not within 20 miles. No. But they're around.
Just academic.
So if you want to give that teleport a chance, you certainly can. Where do you want to go?
So back to like the front door of like the cinder block place where we're staying.
Okay, cool. Give us a percentile check.
They're still invisible.
Yeah, that's cool.
So 100%, 100 side right?
Yeah, D100, yeah.
Alright. Good.
He did it!
Oh my god.
So yeah, you're moving along. All of a sudden, you're like, "There's no place like home. There's no place," and you know, you go into what's it like when you teleport? Tell me that. Do you just vanish?
So I imagine it's just like. Imagine it's just kind of like, blinking into like blackness for like a hot second, and then reappearing exactly where you want to be.
Cool. What's it look like to the people who are around you? If they could see you. Maybe there's even an effect when they, when they can't see you. But I don't know.
I think it's just like I'm there, and then all of a sudden I am not there anymore.
Okay, so just
I
like.
don't think there's.
Okay.
Like if they were watching and they didn't blink, it'd be like I was there, and then like just my entire image just fades.
Right. So a small puff of air that fills in the space where you were, but otherwise. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you're walking through the clothes. You're aiming for that back door. You open it up, and and they head out, and they are looking for you now, and this can get rather ugly because these guys are good hunters. But there you are. Poof, you appear at the front door of the brick. Now what are you gonna do?
And I'm gonna be visible now.
Okay, and you just all of a sudden appear as well.
Yep.
And
pretty much.
Yeah, and the people you hear somebody go whoa like that as you just appeared, and you hear some whispers. Oh, she must be a wizard, right? That sort of thing. Are you a wizard?
I'll say,
yeah, somebody yells.
We'll say, sorry, didn't mean to scare you. Not answer the wizard question and just go up to my room.
Okay, you walk in, and Ed's standing behind the bar and is reading a newspaper, taking a sip of a drink. Well, you're back. Did you find what you were looking for?
Nope. And keep walking.
Well, all right then, he says. Okay, so you head up, and what are you going to do?
Well, I said I was going to go to my room, but I'm not going to go to my room. I'm going to knock on the guy's door.
Okay.
And see if they're in there.
So this is just as they've resolved that they're going to go make sure that nothing bad happens to you. We'll say that you were roaming around long enough. That's okay. So you guys, there you are. You're on the door.
Oh. How's it going?
I was starting to get worried.
Just kind of push my way into their room and shut their door. And I'm just going to tell them that there are these two creepy guys with black eye tattoos who were following me, and I had to teleport to get away from them. They were looking for me or something.
They were bald?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a bit concerned about those two. I think we're going to go have a chat with them.
Where
do you want to come with us,
am I
or would
coming?
you rather
Do I need to
stay here?
Do I need to be there with the chat?
You don't need to if you would like to. Probably better if you don't do anything extraordinary like disappear, reappear, turn into a giant, majestic beast, etc.
Can make no promises.
So
why don't you come with us?
Yeah, you got about 15 minutes left of being a human.
Okay.
Or of metamorphosis at all for this day.
Right. All right, I'll go with you.
All right. So we need to take our armor off. It's going to take a couple minutes.
Yeah. Well, you guys could have said you were already out of your armor. I mean,
Oh,
if
we
you were
could have done
if
it.
you were
Okay,
meditating
all
and the
right.
like, right, you probably would have been out of your armor. So
Yeah. Okay, great. All right. So, yeah, we're gonna head straight for the meat stall, or where where I last saw the Psi-Stalkers.
cool.
Yeah, and I guess I will hope to not need them, but I'll be leaving the rifle with the armor. But I guess I've got a traditional pistol as well as an energy one. I guess I'll have those with me.
All right. All right. Cool. So you guys wander through the streets now. You make your way there. It probably takes about 5 minutes to get down to the stall and everything like that. So Adine's got about 10 minutes left. And
Adrian,
go ahead.
Adrian says they're predators like you, but they specifically want to feed on us. I don't think we should let them feed on you, but we should talk to them and see if we can learn anything from them.
What do they want to feed off of?
Your energy.
And for Ashley, that means
Your
what exactly?
your PPE, ISP. Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
So they are psychic vampires essentially. They drain. They can barely eat it. They can barely eat meat. They can't eat anything else. They can only really gain sustenance from drinking magic energy from living beings. Now the thing is, if a living being dies, its magic energy, its PPE, doubles in that instant. So if they kill a monster, they get to drink twice their fill, basically. So there's a benefit for them to actually hunting things and killing them, but they don't have to kill to eat. So, not that your character would know all that stuff, but that's okay.
I might.
That's good for me to know.
Yeah, can I roll a demon and monster lore to see what Jad knows about Psi-Stalkers?
They are neither demons nor monsters, so if you have lore DB, that would work.
Yeah, I don't have DB lore, that's right, you're right.
Yeah, but you can... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, so I might not actually know.
You can give a percentile. They're not uncommon. Like if you've lived in and around the Midwest, they're not uncommon. The Coalition, if you know lots of stuff about the Coalition actually allows Psi-Stalkers to be tracked inside their territories, and they will employ them in their military to hunt down supernatural creatures and stuff like that. So it's because they are they're actually seen to be human mutants as opposed to some sort of dimensional being, but it would be lore DB that tells you stuff about them. So, or lore psionics.
Lore dimensions?
No, because they're not from another dimension. So, but you can roll a percentile and try to get under your IQ. I know Jad would. That would be quite the feat if he did that. But
Look at this guy with his...
no, that's a percentile.
Okay, yeah.
A percentile.
Yeah.
Treat it like a skill, right? Yeah. No.
Nope.
Yeah. So this is just
I imagine I have a basic idea of things, like basic
yeah, you don't know much about their culture, you don't know much about their anatomy or anything like that. You don't know much about weaknesses or anything, but you do know that they hunt supernatural things and drink their energy. A magic user would be probably well versed that these things are not really friendly to them.
Yeah.
But that if you're willing to give them PPE, that can be a good bargaining chip.
Yes, that's exactly what I plan to do.
Cool.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's try to find them.
Cool. So you guys do head over to their booth that they have set up there, and it's like I said, it's not a very well put together booth, but they have sold off their kill that they had brought in earlier, that they had hanging there. And they're just kind of sitting back with their feet up now, trying to stay in the shade. After all, they don't have much in the way of melanin.
No jerky, nothing left.
Oh, they do have things to sell still. They just sold off their big. They could probably stop selling today because they probably made enough today. But they're just hanging around in case somebody else wants more of what they've prepared. And they see you guys walking up. And Adine, you're following?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And
Dietrich's staying real close to Adine.
Okay, cool. And one of them smiles as you approach, and you can see that his teeth are nothing but sharp points. And he says, "You guys are brave. Walking around with that thing." And he nudges to Adine.
That thing's not very nice.
Everybody's got their own story. How are you doing today?
He looks over at his partner there, who just kind of nods. We're doing pretty well. She's not human, right?
Adrian's looking through meat and all of the things they're selling and just assessing it.
Yeah, they've got it's mostly smoked meat, preserved, like trail meat, right? That's kind of what they're selling here. They don't usually cook. They don't cook the meat for themselves usually, but it doesn't look like they've done a particularly good job of smoking it either. Just so you know.
Yeah, I could try to pick out the best pieces.
Yeah. This is how much you want for her?
Yeah, she's not really for sale. That's the thing.
Can't buy me.
And they kind of look around on the streets at all the things going on in town. Like, I don't think you've realized, honey, but everything's for sale here. So what are you? A demon?
She never said. Refuse to answer. Cross my arms and just look at him.
Yeah. No, we wouldn't just be hanging out with a demon.
Why not? Right? Who said that? Was that
Jad?
That's Jad. Okay.
Yeah.
And says, "Well, why not?" Says the other one. You got some sort of standards? Only some supernaturals are worth hanging out with? They're all going to try to eat you.
Unpredictable reputation.
Oh. And the other one's like, yeah, he's not wrong. Now, devils you can predict. Demons? Nope.
Yeah, we like folks that we can make a deal with.
Well, what kind of deal are you looking to make? You want to try to buy some jerky? He looks over at Dietrich.
Yeah,
Frankly, we do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Why don't you ask him some questions about the land?
Right. My bad. Well, I didn't want to be impolite, but I'd love to hear. We're new here in town today. I'd love to hear more about the area. Is there anything we should watch out for?
And the other one just kind of snickers and points.
I look at them. I look at them while I'm saying that. Right.
Yeah, he snickers and he points right at Adine. So that's what you got to look out for. And then he kind of looks up at her and bites his pointy teeth at her. Adine, how are you over there?
She's gonna do the exact same thing back, just snap at him. Not really realizing that she's just a girl.
That's right. Well, that's there's lots of dangerous things around, says the other one. Rhino, buffalo. That's probably the most dangerous thing that we've run into around here. We wander. But there's plenty of local fauna that can do you in. Some of the flora as well. Back up in the hills, right? He points west toward the Black Hills. You'll find some leapers. They'll take down a dragon.
That sounds tough.
Mm-hmm.
Leapers.
Something I've
Do I
ever
know
heard
about
of.
leapers?
Not by that name. He's probably just using a colloquial term for them.
I see. Gotcha. What does a leaper look like?
Lizardy type thing.
Okay. Scary lizards.
Yeah, scary lizards.
Did Jad understand what Dietrich was saying there about the energy vampire stuff, or did we decide that Dietrich doesn't actually know that?
Dietrich probably knows enough about Psi-Stalkers to know the general what they are, right? That they are psychic vampires.
So I might know, I might understand what they want, and that we can give it to them.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah. You would know enough that they could drain you, and that you could probably use that as a bargaining chip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Diedrich makes a little stack of jerky and pulls out his pocket knife, looks at them, and makes a really just minuscule cut on the end of his middle finger, and then holds it out and says, "Feed."
Says we're not dogs. What do you think this is? it's like you're just giving out some free samples or what? They kind of
Yeah. What my friend means here is that maybe we could arrange some other form of payment.
Yeah, I understand. So what is it that you want from us? Other than jerky?
Well, really the same questions as before, but more so. Is there anything we should really know about here?
Well, we'll tell you what we know, right? And they kind of get in a little bit close to the cut, and they seem to kind of inhale. How much PPE do you have left there, Dietrich?
28.
Okay, so yeah, it'll be gone.
Yep.
And I was just offering a little snack. They kind of almost sit back after. It's almost like you gave somebody a couple chips out of your bag, sort of thing, right? They're like, they got a good taste in their mouth, and yeah, they're like, well, if there's more where that came from, then we can help you out. We can guide you places too, if you like.
Well, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
For now,
Will you be
just
here
like
tomorrow?
jerky.
Will they be here tomorrow?
No, we can be here tomorrow if you rest up there, wizard.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea.
Where you boys staying?
We're at the Brick,
Hmm.
under the watchful eye of the proprietor.
Yeah. Well, Ed does own this town. So, we don't like to dirty his establishment.
Are those his words
Yeah.
or yours?
Yeah, both. We don't want to do it, and he doesn't want us to do it. So, we'll be around. But, yeah, I'd stay out of the hills unless you're looking for a ley line or a nexus point.
How about some artifacts?
Oh, you're not going to find Not going to find the artifacts that are going to make you rich in the hills. You're just going to find a lot of trouble there. All the artifacts are down south in the Badlands, I hear.
Have you heard about any ruins nearby?
Just from what the prospectors say. Yeah.
You prospecting yourself?
No, we're hunters. Old Ethier came stumbling out of the saloon just after you boys walked in. He said he was going to go back working his claim. Said he found a nice prize. So
we'd like to ask him some more about that. Do you know where his claim is?
yeah, down in the coulee. Just down south of here in the Badlands area. There's lots of claims down there. You'll see him.
That's great. Thank you for your help.
Thank you for the snack. We'll
Thank
see.
you for the meat.
Yes, of course. We'll see how you're faring tomorrow. You too, darling. And gives another little chomp on his teeth.
Don't want to touch her.
You don't want to touch her. You don't know the half of it.
I gently.
Pretty sure they know more than you do.
I gently take Adine by the waist and start moving away.
That's when you realize she's way stronger than you realize. It's like, why? What are you doing? Why are you touching it?
I'll let him lead me. That's fine.
All right. Cool. All right. Sounds good. So you guys will make your way back to the brick, I imagine.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, we will. Oh, sorry. Go
It's
ahead.
about time for Adine. Her time limit's about up.
Yeah.
I imagine that she would start feeling weak or itchy or something weird when she's about to start
I don't know. What's you feel?
changing back.
What's it feel like when you're hitting your limit?
Weird and itchy and like it's hard to hold the form that has not been difficult to hold this whole time.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So communicating that to Jad Dietrich.
It's good you're not wearing one of them fancy dresses.
Yeah, with like a bustle.
Yeah, but I think I have to turn back. I don't think I'm going to be able to maintain this any longer. I think I got to turn back now.
Let's walk towards the edge of town.
I can.
Let's quickly walk out.
Jad will offer to turn his
So
back and let you take off the dress first if you want. Then we can save it for you.
Yeah, is there a building where there's no, not like an alleyway where there's no people?
There's places between. You can probably make your way out. You could, you could even temporarily even morph into like a large bird and fly, and then get away, right? Like turn into a dragon, like invisible yourself. Invisible yourself?
Yeah, I was thinking that we'd get in between two buildings. I would turn invisible, take the dress off, and then, before I'm fully a dragon, fly up a little bit, and then let the dragon form come out under invisibility.
Yeah,
Make
you
sense?
could do that.
Yeah, Deidre's gonna look. I gotta see this.
That's funny.
That's
She goes invisible and takes the dress off. So
and that's when the picture. That's when the picture was taken, right there. He's looking back over his shoulder.
It's pillar of salt time.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And you...
Right, so I guess I'm now a dragon above the buildings, just kind of flying there, invisible. But I have to know where I'm going to meet them and when and where. And so we should probably head to the outskirts of town and discuss it there, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you'll also know that they're staying at the brick, so that when you can resume a form, you could meet them there. That's another thing. While you're flying
they should
up,
probably meet me
sure.
whenever they want to do something with me, in which I need a human form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Even invisible, my human form is still taking my metamorphosis time.
that's right. So you as you climb into the sky, though, you can see that the town is kind of almost like on a peninsula of land that juts out into the Badlands. So that the Badlands kind of you come down off of the edge of this, and a lot of weird shaped land features and the like. But you do notice that there's a good number of coulees, which are small little valleys between the hills of the Badlands, where there are a number of people that have set up tents, and there's some fires going and stuff like that. So south of the town, they have been prospecting and the like. So, yeah.
Right. Well, maybe I'll choose to make myself a little camp over there, a little dragon-sized camp.
Yeah,
off to the side near the Badlands.
Yeah, you could find a space between two hills to kind of snuggle down, and and the like, to rest. And even probably do some roaming around as a dragon. You're not entirely, incapable. You just can't become a human. So,
right.
Yeah. Cool. All right. And with that, I think we're going to call this session closed, because we're kind of hitting our time limit here. And so thank you guys again for playing. It was a lot of me describing things, but I was just trying to set the setting and everything like that. But I hope you found it reasonably entertaining. And for all of you that are listening and have joined us for this, we really appreciate it. We appreciate all the new subscribers that we have. Those of you that stopped by to check it out. Please also check out our other game. The regular Initiative Zero crew is still going strong with our Chronicles of Darkness game every Thursday. We post new episodes on Fridays, so I do a lot of processing in the evening after our episode's done, just to make sure we got another one out. This side adventure will kind of be airing every few weeks or so, as we continue to explore the New West in Rifts. But until our next time, if you can't roll high, you can always hang with us at Initiative Zero.